Hello everyone and welcome back to the Edain Mod. Today is a very warm day here in the UK, so I decided instead of stressing myself out trying to play some games against Brutals, I'm going to watch other people play. Got some replays that I've saved up with myself and some friends playing against some AI. I've also got some PvP games which we'll be showing off today. With this one here, Witch King Fandom, which was given to me by a good friend, Dorito. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. And he's playing with one other person I know, and two people I don't. So, let's have a look. So, we firstly have Dorito playing as Mordor. We have a new person that I don't know called Wilhelm playing as Angmar. We have good old Anichan, the Frenchman, playing as Rohan, his favourite faction. And another person I don't know, Horrigan. Now Horrigan seems he's going for my patented Mordor build of Orc Barracks, which is good. But Dorito's going for something a bit different, where he's going for, well, firstly Tribute Camp of course, but he's gone instead for a Kirfungol Barracks, which I have to admit is a very risky play, because they all started with 1,000. So Dorito's playing a very interesting start, but he is also going to be taking some more settlements, and he went for the Overseer power to start with. Anishan went for draft and put it upon his flower mill in his base, so he's going to be spamming peasants, which is honestly the best way to play PvP. My way of playing PvE is just going all cavalry. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. So now I'm going to forget names a lot. I'm sorry. Wilhelm went for an early Drauglin so he could scout out the competition. I'm assuming they didn't know who they were up against to begin with, so scouting out the competition and knowing what they're going to be doing is very good. And Drauglin is the fastest scout hero in the game, next to the actual Iron Hill Scout mini hero. It's kind of more thing it becomes a unit. So the Mordor Orc spam is currently prevailing against the spiders, which is pretty easy because spiders are just tanky creeps now. They're not actually good, powerful creeps. And let's see, Wilhelm hasn't actually picked a power yet, which could mean he's going straight away for the middle power, which decreases the cooldown of all of his hero abilities. So he's going to be spamming like Razor Crescents, the other form of that ability with the Skin Changer. Or maybe he's just saving up to decide what he wants to do later, which is a conservative play. It's not a bad play. So Doritos hasn't done much. He's taken out the spider layer thanks to the Overseers, which do give a big buff to orcs. 50% damage and armour. Oh, there we go. Wilhelm chose a Dark Obelisk as his first power. Normally a very good first power. It gives you an advantage over enemy units. And undrafted peasants, they don't need much of an advantage. It is good to have it. And then we have the drafted peasants that have already received the draft from the flour mill. Anishan also already getting Fed and the Corruptor, good idea. Using that to get extra economy from the stud farm at the top. We're also building an archery range, probably to deal with pesky single target entities from afar. Since Angmar and Mordor have no mounted cavalry units in the very, very beginning, it does make sense to go for archers as Rohan. Over here we have some pikes getting built up. Again, I'm not sure why, other than to potentially deal with a warg or a troll lair over here, which is not a bad concept, but I personally would not have picked pikemen. I would have gone straight for, yep, right there, the 19 free Mordor Orc spam. Anichan is keeping Theoden in the base, and let's just get to the conflict here. Everyone's vying for control over the centre, as you do. Spiderlayer over here already taken down thanks to the aid of Shagrat. Dorito placing a beacon to where we can see the actual assembly point, which will be healing the Orcs and the Rohirrim in their desperate struggle. As Wilhelm is going for Axe Throwers early game. Very powerful early game unit. Does massive damage if you build lots of Hillman camps. And we can see currently Wilhelm has made 4 of them. So if we check over here, that's 20% extra damage that they're dealing. And there's also the Kirfongol Black Orc Archers, which is also very strong. It was a big investment of Dorito to do it. He's now also getting Mordor Orc pikemen to deal with the wargs and the trolls. See here, the pikeman that I'm sorry, I'm going to keep going back and forth on this. Horrigan made. His pikemen just went straight into the front line against axe throwers and Black Orc archers. Unfortunately, you're not going to go very far with that. And again, there seems the range superiority of axe throwers and Black Orc archers, which also reduce the damage of enemy units struck by their barbed arrows, is giving them the edge. But that will soon change, I'm sure. Let's have a quick scan of everyone's powers. No extra power points yet. No. 2 power points currently on Wilhelm. That's going to mean he can get Frozen Land, which will get him one step closer to getting the Traces of Rohan or the improved Overseers. Or Thrallmasters, even not Overseers. I'm thinking of the Mordor Overseers. But yep, looks like this assembly point will fall. The Eye of Sauron has been pulled out by who? By Horrigan. So that's going to reduce the enemy leadership of the enemies, and their Shagrats and Draughlin getting very little experience, which is a very good harassing tactic. Again, you don't really see me using that against AI because AI don't really have a strategy with their heroes. They use them and then it's gone. And then we go to Frozen Land, which will pin the enemy in place. There is no escape. They're pushing in. Meanwhile, Dorito is keeping up with a small repertoire in his base. If we check his resources, he is fighting for scraps, getting another unit of Black Orc archers, potentially to move into the front line again, or perhaps to deal with the trolls and the wargs. It is still unclear so far. But it seems like the orc spam that Dorito is providing is better than that of our friend Horrigan here. However, he has built up his base with full economy, which is not a bad thing if you plan to go full economy. However, now this is a big thing right here. He's built 2 defense towers thinking that they stack. It should say that they do not stack. It does say that when you build them, that the ability does not stack. So he's not getting 50% extra recruit speed. He's still getting only 25. So if I was him, I would destroy one of these, potentially get rid of this, make another orc pit, and start building up those pantries because he's going to need it. In fact, if we see, he's still only at 500. He's expecting his orcs to die, which is fine, but he does need to keep up the orc spam. But we see the Dark Lord Sauron coming out at level 1. Again, a little bit of a rookie mistake. Perhaps it's more of a thing for PvP to have something that can clean up large waves, since Angmar and Mordor do start as a very horde, large entity units that are weaker, so an AoE attacks from Sauron would be viable. And then we see Dorito bringing up his army of orcs. He has won the battle in the middle, and now they're vying for dominance for the side and who can claim the outpost first. Now, it may not be who kills the troll first, it may just be whoever gets there first. You can see here, Horrigan is making a beeline for that after also building a Kirfungal barracks. His economy is very stripped thin. Meanwhile, Dorito currently still not upgrading his base any further. The goblin lairs down there have not been destroyed. Neither of the goblin lairs over here. Oh, I stand to be corrected. Annie-chan is moving in for that lair gold. Never underestimate the gold from a easy lair. Speaking of, Wilhelm has taken the northern lair of the troll up here, meaning he has access to the outpost, which will give him another vast increase to his gold capacity. Very well played, sir. Or ma'am, I'm not going to judge. We see Annie-chan went for the attack command, so any peasants that aren't made from a drafted farm will get draft immediately. Although all his farms now have draft, so maybe picking this was not the right play unless he is going for the other power. The Eye of Sauron, I'm guessing that's from Horrigan. Okay, Horrigan's going up to see what's going on over here. The Wargler is still untaken, as he can see, and he is seeing that the Angmar outpost has been taken. The garrison tower is being built, meaning this is going to be a very powerful hub of economy. and military might, because the Men of Cardoon can be very quickly recruited from there. Although I don't think that's why he built it. Mainly for the 3 archers standing up there that will shoot down his adversaries. What's this building? I want to see. It's very hard to see it. Very hard to click. There's another smelter, Helter Smelter, and the Temple of Twilight. I'm assuming that's why Anichan was making those archers. He knew that Wilhelm would eventually get the Temple of Twilight, would eventually get Barrow Whites. So it seems like Wilhelm's strategy is to go for the more unique single targets, single entity units. Dorito's still playing very minimalist. No one has taken that settlement to the north. I guess it's not worth their time. But Wilhelm's already built up his settlements outside and his inside buildings to tier 2 and tier 3. That is really good. But Anichan is going to start moving down. He's built Hammer, a very good choice. Hammer with an army of peasants just means that peasants will never die, because he gives them healing from combat, which, including the assembly points healing, means that those peasants will need to be one-shot if you plan to kill them, or single target them down with a bunch of ranged units, which he doesn't have that many actually. He only has 2. Going back over here, we have a big clash. Sauron on Sauron. Some overseers are getting obliterated from the back line. Oh my god, so many overseers were just obliterated in an instant. I can't tell whose Black Orcs these are, but I'm assuming, actually I can tell, those are Doritos. I think those are all Doritos Orcs. That is very good, because early Black Orcs, Black Orcs even, against just basic Orcs and Peasants, will just smash them. I'm not sure if they have AoE damage like they do in the Defend the Shire map, but if they do, that means they're even more viable against those large entity units. And we have Drauglin, who just went into his wolf form, went woof woof. Unfortunately, didn't use his Call the Pack ability, which would have really helped. Or maybe he knows that the Razor Crescent power is more viable against low health entities. Moving on. All the reinforcements from Rune have been called by Anichan. Not Anichan, Dorito. Sorry, I'm going to do this a lot. Anichan has built up his command points to 700. So has Wilhelm. And Horrigan has already moved up to 900. Very good. But you can see Dorito still stuck at 500. That's because he's gone full commitment to the Black Uruks. And I'm assuming once he gets level 3 Sauron, he will either boost his economy, as you should, or he's going to get the Halberdiers of Kilafungol to deal with potential cavalry coming from Anichan. But yet, to no avail. They fought on both sides. It looks like the Rohirrim won the battle but lost the war, so to speak, since their army can only just sit there and not make extra economy while being stuck in a corner. And it seems like looks like Horrigan is having the same problem. He did have a Nazgul just walked into the middle of that. That was not a smart move. But Anichan using the power I was thinking he was going to use, the Vanguard of Rohan, which is an ability you get from the right side of the power tree after getting the attack command, charged them in. Unfortunately, didn't get too far because of the pikes of Horrigan in Dorito's army. Or was that Horrigan? I cannot tell. It is very hard to tell when you're seeing the two factions are the exact same with very similar colours without zooming very far in. Yeah, there's no way to tell. All we can say is that there was a lot of chaos and confusion in that fight. Shagrat is low health, but he did just summon Gorbag, who just died. Sauron on both sides is still only level... I can't tell. Level 3. Okay, level 3 Sauron. He did not use it on his economy or his Kirafungol barracks. What's going on? What did he use it on? Was that Horrigan's? Okay, that was Horrigan's, and he used it on his arsenal. And yep, there we go. He's built his second Orc pit. Don't know why I went for a split of arsenals and tribute camps. You don't get any value from splitting the differentials unless you're going for siege, which, as you can see, currently has no access to siege. However, Dorito could very easily start spamming troll catapults if he had the mind to do it. The evil wit. As we see back over here, the constant struggling over here. The melee line of Rohan has been obliterated by the Witch King of Angmar. Oh, where'd that come from? Oh my goodness, look at that economy. This is what happens when Angmar gets free reign of settlements and outposts. Because your outposts, tribute carts, give you incredible amounts of money. And and as you can see, he went for my strategy of Helter Smelters. Just get them straight up to level 3. Your settlements, get them straight up to level 3 if you can keep them. He has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hillman camps, which means 25% damage for all Hillmen, which is all of his should be all of his ranged units. And he has 5 smelters, so he's making use of the supply routes by losing a little bit of production. He's getting hero spam, and he's just got the turncoats of Arnor. He's just got access to elite tier infantry if it is necessary to him. And also Dorito is pushing in with a large horde of Easterlings, Orcs and Uruks. The Nazgûl is doing their best to call them down, but unfortunately walking right into stalling infantry and units that do not do well against a mounted Nazgûl. He should run that Nazgûl away. He should run that Nazgûl away as fast as he can. Meanwhile, Horrigan is sticking to the Orc spam. He lost his Kirfungol barracks that he had over there, and he's not yet destroyed a slaughterhouse to change. Again, he's going for slaughterhouses, but he has only Orcs. So maybe a mistake on his part. Maybe he didn't know what to do. That's fine either way. I would recommend always go for the slave farms with early... double Shelob on the field. Shelob running right into the turncoats of Arnold, which some of them were on pikes, so she just got totally destroyed by revenge damage, giving these guys the levels they need to go straight to level 2 and become a permanent unit that, when he gets his upgrades, can make them even stronger. And he's already going for full men of Khan Doom. Rohan is in trouble, because their units are not going to get any better if he doesn't go for cavalry. And here we go, Annie Chan has already got his stables built up. It is a shame he didn't get access to the exile camp that he probably wanted to go for, sitting in this position. But that is fine. He is finding ways to go around it. He has built the Onager, so he's going to try and seize them from afar. However, in doing so, he's going to incur the wrath of Angmar, I am sure. Horrigan already built his command points to 1500, even though his unit cap has not quite reached that potency. At this point, having nothing but Orc spam against a powerful adversary who's going for more elite units and is getting more elite units, I would potentially get rid of one of these Orc barracks now to get a troll there, because Mordor has very little access to pikes that can deal with trolls if they are managed carefully. But that's obviously my preference, not his. The Druidine Stone that was thrown in front of Rohan's base by Annie Shan. Well done. It's not often you get to see the Druidine Stones do work, but they're doing work today. And we get seeing some siege still striking down over here. Some traitors of Rohan, which were once peasants, turned by the still corrupted Theoden. Annie Chan not doing too well for powers, I don't think. Oh no, he's gone. Alright, you've got the Druidine Stone, so he's gone down the left side and the right side of the tree in equal measure. However, Wilhelm is forced to retreat. His heroes are strong, but his army has yet to reach its full power. Which is why I said again, having ranged hillmen is better, and does have men of Khan Doom, which eventually will be cheaper. So I'm thinking build a Hall of the King's Men here, because from this, it's global reduction in men of Khan Doom timers. But yeah, going all Dark Knights, all Khan Doom bowmen, though it may seem good, he is still going up against Rohan. He has to consider that their peasant spam and their eventual cavalry recruitment is far more dangerous, and he requires some pikes. It looks like though his entire base has been obliterated and his army in tow. Meanwhile, the fight of Mordor and Mordor, I don't know what's going on. I honestly can't say what's going on. It looks like Dorito's winning. It could be Horrigan that's winning. I'm going to say the person that has the Mouth of Sauron is winning, and I believe that is Dorito's Mouth of Sauron, yes, because his line of sight peripheral is not showing on Anichan's. But yeah, there we go, that's showing there. So, Horrigan going down both left and right side of the power tree to get Terror of Cirithungol, but also the reinforcements of Rune. Dorito has also pushed into the middle, getting his deadliest servants, meaning that when he gets the Nazgul, he can upgrade them straight away with armor. And there we go, the Morgul Fortress, the best fortress for Mordor to pick. Sorry, Dumbledore, you're not good. As we see the Men of Kharndoom back over here, he's going from infantry because currently he's only dealing with infantry. But there we go, the Towers of Theodred. I imagine Anichan was told you could not get Theodred until at least 10 minutes because yeah, these towers smack. That's a lone barrow white that's part of the structure. Just got owned by these warriors of Meduseld. Truly dangerous threat. And still, Anichan is only going for peasant spam. He has this stables, but is not using it. I feel like he is letting the side down just a little. But that is understandable, because he does see pikes in the Angmar roster. But if he knew what I knew... Oh, he'd change his tune. Oh, yep, he's going to want some cavalry to deal with that little mess. But over here, again, looks like Dorito and Horrigan are at a standstill. They're not really fighting for dominance, although Dorito did just build the Minas Morgul Fortress, which I am sure he's going to use to get the Witch King. And despite him having such a massive army, he's still only got 355 command points. That's because it is mostly Black Orc. So if you don't know, the Black Orc units, along with the Halberdiers of Cirithungol, they are all free of command points. They cost 0 command points, which is why they're also so expensive and can only be built from an outpost settlement building. The same with the Royal Guard of Rohan from the Royal Guard camp. But here we go. Looks like Angmar is starting to make their move. Their massive economy lead has now given them units superior to that of Rohan. The Rune Stone has been obliterated. The Watchtower of Theodred is to be next. He's just issued the attack order, although all his peasants should already be drafted. I don't know why that aura happened, unless that's just an aura that comes with the territory. But we see he's got Helagwyn, Gulzar, Karsh, Mornemarth, the Witch King somewhere, unless he died. He might have died. Yep, you can also see that Anichan has actually started upgrading his peasants with forge-based and heavy armor, keeping them on par with the Men of Kharndoom, which is actually true. And, oh my goodness, what are those catapults doing? Well, I said it was going to happen. Troll catapults. I didn't expect Horrigan to do it, though. He's destroyed another economy building to go for military. I would personally gotten rid of this orc pit for the Great Siege Works. Just keep another economy building. You do want economy in this late stage of the game to start making your heroes, make them stronger, make more valuable heroes like, I was going to say Karsh. You can't make Karsh. But we see Theoden has now been cured of his paralysis from Grima. Harma is in the fight. The Witch King has returned. And an army of Kharndoom is making its way into Anichan's base. It is not looking too good for him. He started making cavalry, probably because he noticed the siege in his backline. He wants to deal with that. Let's go back here. He picked the Glorious King. Power, perhaps a bit too late, because if he didn't get both Vanguard, Ambush, and the attack command, he could have also gotten Haldir to help deal with siege in his backline, or even gone for the 3 Hunters, which are very good at killing enemy heroes. We see Shelob coming out. I'm not sure who's Shelob. I'm thinking that's Horrigan's Shelob. Throwing it out probably as a precautionary measure. Or the Witch King of Angmar has come out on the other side, fully dressed in delicious armor. We see Sauron now only level 4. I feel that's a bit disappointing. Only level 4. He's only built the Minas Morgul Fortress, built a Cirithungol unit, and built a Nazgul. That, I'm sorry, that's just me. I would have gotten to level 10 by now. No, I'm kidding. I've gone to like level 7. Yeah, if he uses the influence of Sauron upon the Minas Morgul, these lesser wraiths will become wretched wraiths, which will mean that they will heal Nazgul when they are dealt damage, and they are also very powerful single target entities. And as you can see, Mordor has no ranged capability to deal with ranged units. We see the map of Sauron over here, probably on Horrigan's side. We also see the Castellan of Minas Morgul Gothmog on this side. Rohan is fighting strong, but you can see the fully decked out Warriors of Kharndoom with their dark iron blades and dark iron armor. Harmer is escaping with his almost perfect invulnerability. Rohan is not looking too good, is not built up his towers yet. That is a shame. Witch King now riding on his horse. He's seeing no pikemen, so he's making use of his mount, doing lots of AoE damage to those peasants, while Gulzar and some men of Kharndoom shoot from afar. Meanwhile, another tussle is beginning in the middle. Oh, Wilhelm using the outbreak. Perfect power to kill off an army of Mordor. That was an entire army of Mordor that has just hit the dirt. It is all dead. Oh, that has got to hurt. That has got to hurt Horrigan a lot while he is getting harassed. It is looking like it is a game set match already. However, Andy Chan running around with his knights of Rohan, cleaning up enemy siege. That's what I love to see. But unfortunately, his base is not looking very good right now. Let's have a look at the powers. We have the Banner of the Red Eye for Dorito, which is used already. Nothing yet for Rohan, although he's close to getting his free company. The Outbreak, yep, he went straight for that power as well after getting the Turncoats of Arnor. Very good choice. And Horrigan, still not quite there yet. He has been doing a lot of losing, unfortunately. It cannot be helped. But as we can see, the catapults are dealing with Minas Morgul. It is down. A cheap tactic indeed. But in these games, when Annie Chan, unfortunately, is already on the verge of death, it cannot be helped. And King Theoden is soon to fall with his men, as a king should. Yeah, I hate to see it, but it has to happen. And over here, Wilhelm is standing strong. Silver Barrow-White Lair, that's only level 1. He's not yet able to get the Shadow Guard. That, I don't believe. He should be able to get Shadow Guard. Maybe that's just for me, because I'm not looking on his view. Let's just... Oh, yep. Annie Shan is down to his last settlements. A funny thing you should know, if you build a flour mill on a settlement, and I think it only works on castle starts, you can actually survive with just a Rohan farm. But you do have to go for Rohan farms. Because if you go for stud farms, then you will die eventually. Harmer fighting tooth and nail against fully elite men of Kharndoom. Theoden has fallen to the enemy. Helogwyn probably calls the last shot, as she does. Gulzar shooting from a map away. And it's looking like this battle over here is also game, set, and... Oh, actually, no, I can't really tell. I still can't tell who is who. I still can't tell who is who. It's just a smorgasbord of Mordor units. We see siege on both sides shooting. We see archers and Easterlings and orcs. Oh my, the Witch King, Annie Chan, has been defeated. Oh, it's a shame to see the Frenchman fall first, but it had to happen, I guess. It had to happen. Actually, an orc pit being built in spite. Okay. I love seeing the one orc camp that makes no sense. But yeah, it's looking like Horrigan's army being made of nothing but orcs. As valuable as it can be in the early game, it unfortunately falls off very quickly in the mid to late game, and you do need your tertiary units, your summons from several different factions, the trolls, and your units from outposts. Unfortunately, on a map like Lamadon, which is the map this is, I do know this map very well, you do need the outposts to get a advantage with certain factions. It can't be helped. As we come to the conclusion of this game, towers are shooting down the enemies in desperate attempts of victory. The Witch King is running around on his horse. The Witch King is also running around with his flail. And then there's Sauron mockingly laughing. Still at level 4! Oh, I hate that. I hate looking at that. Why is this not level 3 already? How is Sauron only level 4? I don't like that. I hate that. Oh, I think that was the avalanche that was just used by... Yep, that was the avalanche that was just being... Oh no, it's just now being thrown down by Wilhelm to conclude the day. Now all his buildings have been frozen. He's not making any money. He is not making any units. Everything has been stopped. It cannot be helped. Victory goes to Mordor with Dorito and Wilhelm as Angmar. And I have to say, the person who really did the best that game, I have to say, Wilhelm. Amazing job. Your Angmar was something to behold. Indeed. Taking this outpost early definitely is what gave you the advantage because of the economy you were getting from the tribute camps. Having this outpost here meant all the other settlements you had were perfectly secure. You had no threats whatsoever. That was a very well played game by all 4 players. I'm glad to have shown it off to you all. And I will see you all in the next replay. Farewell for now, and I hope you have all have a good day.